seeing picks from Business Associates side. They get
remaining.
the old trusty what looks like move Wraith King, but the follow up is a Brewmaster, and Brewmaster has seen a little bit of play in the Europe and CIS ESL event, but I'm curious about what he brings to the table in this particular draft.
It's just a utility as well, right? You go for the Dominator, the Vlads, and you get some extra damage, the Vampiric Aura from it. It's pretty good. You also have the Dispel from the Panda. That Cyclone is neat. You have a hero that's going to get in the backlines, find Grimstroke, disable him from doing anything, or Dazzle as well.
Oh
So
wow!
it's neat. Brewmaster most likely will be your offlaner here, played by Brax. Then Puck is left to either be on mid lane or position 4, but I think this should be position 4 Puck. And
Is this
they
going to
will...
be an off-lane Dazzle, you think? Dazzle versus Wraith King matchup. Doesn't that sound
10
pretty good for
seconds
Dazzle?
remaining.
Hmm.
It's definitely
It,
been more
seconds
core
remaining.
Dazzles than support Dazzles of recent, and in any
let's just see.
region.
Yeah, let's just see what Business Associates ban, and that will give us at least an insight in what they're thinking Crazy is going to pick.
Mm-hmm.
Dazzle can be played here by Kezu, definitely. Um, but they need something different for a position 4. They can't roll Grimstroke Dazzle. I think that lane isn't that strong.
Yeah, that's
Even
true.
though versus Wraith King and Ogre Magi, you would have two ranged right clickers with Poison Touch.
Radiant
It's
team
pretty neat,
ban.
Yeah.
but you would rather have something different. They ban out the TA instead because why do they ban out the TA instead? They think that the Dragonite is the offlane. That's why. I suppose that's their opinion at least. Because
There's
yeah, that's
so
the
much
only thing that makes
flexibility
sense.
here. It's really hard to say.
That's also interesting because TA is one of those counters to Puck that makes me think that
10
they want to put
seconds
Puck
remaining.
mid.
Yeah.
But Dragonite is just as strong. You can also just put Dragonite mid and
5
he'll do
seconds
fine.
remaining.
Yeah. True. True. Wow.
Mm.
Really hard to say. Everything's really going to be coming together with these last picks. It's made for some really intriguing drafts. I mean, one thing's for certain.
As always.
I have not seen Core Ogre at all. That's got to be support for sure. I
Mhm.
have more often seen 4-position Brew. I'm definitely keen that we are seeing Ogre Brew as a support pairing, which if you're going to call out Grim and Dazzle for being a potential awkward support pairing, I would just say that, Ogre and Brew could be as awkward and two melee
I,
bruisers.
I think it's still Brew offlane.
Okay.
Fear will be playing the Ogre Magi, Wraith King will be the carry. The only question is, will they put Puck on mid lane or will they pick something cheesy, perhaps, as their last pick here? Something like a Meepo, perhaps, comes to mind. That's pretty good. That
Ooh.
could be picked by both sides, actually. One crazy, you would have Dazzle Core. Actually, you couldn't
Radiant
have Dazzle
team
Core,
pick.
but Meepo would work well for them. Instead, they ban out the Razor, which is also pretty good versus Dragonite on that mid lane, or Ember. And most likely will be there for some brawler type position 4 right now.
Dire
Would be
team
cool
pick.
for them. Oh no, they go with the gyro.
Okay,
Right, so it's
Gyro.
the Ember 4. It's the Ember 4, right? It's Ember plus
Yeah.
Dazzle on the offlane. Gyro is the carry, Dragonite is the mid. Okay, okay, yeah,
I
that
like
makes
that
sense. I've
offlane. I
completely
gotta
forgot.
say, Dazzle Ember against Wraith King. That sounds like a problem. I mean, what is Ogre gonna do about that? I don't think he could do much. He'll be in like the line of fire almost. I
Yeah,
5
mean,
because of the
seconds
poison touch,
remaining.
right?
yeah,
Like, what
yeah.
does Ogre like to do? He wants to go up front and zone
5
you out.
seconds
But you
remaining.
can't do that versus heroes such as Undying, Clockwork, and Dazzle because they want to be there. They want to hit you with either like a Battery Assault, with Poison Touch, with Decay. So yeah, it's not really an easiest lane for Ogre.
I'm not sure how they
Um,
can remedy that now, because it seems like they're committing in for their mid lane, right? Oh no, they're not. Oh
they
my
go back.
God, I'm telling you, some people got leg day. Yawar's got gyro day. Brax, it's Underlord day. I gotta run Underlord.
No, it's
Oh,
nine.
it's 9
It's
Underlord.
mid.
Let's
It's mid
go.
Underlord.
Mid lane Underlord. All right. To They don't even know who you're playing yet. They haven't even picked their heroes. Are they gonna?
Do you now swap it up? Put Dazzle mid, put Dragonite offlane or something like that. I
Oh my
don't
gosh,
know.
they talking about putting Dazzle mid now. Oh, Owie's like, you know what? I know I'm playing Grimstroke. That's what I know, boys. This Grimstroke's definitely not going core. Kezu is
It's
playing the Dazzle to the offlane. They're going to stick with it. What I imagine was kind of their original game plan. Brile DK mid lane. DK versus 9 Underlord. Ooh, I
this
I
should
gotta
be
imagine
easier
that's
for
a
nine.
that's a Underlord advantage, right? I mean, you're buying
Yeah.
into it. I gotta. It's not something I see too often, but I got to imagine it's a pretty significant advantage for the Underlord.
Yeah, it's a melee matchup versus Underlord. I don't see Braille losing it really hard there. You still have fire to work with. You have your first spell, right? Breath of Fire to just get that easy CS. Meanwhile, Nine will be using Firestorm all the time, uh, and also has an ability to stack for himself and clear those camps easily. It's definitely a better matchup for Nine, but Brawl should be alright too.
Now
My
what?
question is,
Yeah, go ahead.
Moonmeander plus Kezu, how strong will they be versus Bo and Fear?
There's the Fear Moo. I feel like it would be good for Ember Dazzle. Wraith King and the amount of poison that could be heading his way could be a little troublesome for that big melee core to deal with. Also, I don't know how well Brax is going to do. It looks like it's going to be Brax and Moose on the Puck in a lane together. I'm trying to remember now who they're going to be paired against. It's Gyrocopter Grimstroke. That's pretty
Yeah,
nice.
exactly.
That's pretty nice, I
Yeah,
gotta say.
yeah, Gyro. I think that lane is very volatile. It can go either way. On one side you have Gyro with a lot of magic damage, obviously, and Grimstroke. On the other you have Puck and Brewmaster. We'll see. I think there's still potential on both sides there. Perhaps I would say that it's a little bit easier for the Grimstroke and Gyro, obviously.
And both side lanes, I imagine, warrant having that babysitter nearby. You know, this isn't like a lane where they're going to be able to leave Brax on his own to farm up, and certainly they're not going to leave the Dazzle on his own. Maybe they will. I mean, last time they did have the ability to kind of have Moonmeander roam around a bit. And is it going to be more warranted in this game because the Dragon Knight's going to be in that one-sided matchup?
Where is he going to rotate? That's the question. If he goes bottom lane, then perhaps, yeah, you can leave Dazzle, but it's not like you're gonna gank this Underlord on the mid lane, right? So most likely Ember Spirit's job will be to secure Dazzle's farm early on. One thing you don't want is a weak Dazzle in the mid game. You really have to secure his laning stage.
Mm-hmm.
If he manages to really win it in the first couple of minutes, then perhaps you can allow yourself to just leave Dazzle because he's self-sufficient. But if they don't really crush the lane early on, you need to continue babysitting him.
Damn. Kezu must play a lot of Dazzle. He's got some I think these are pretty expensive cosmetics. His mask and his back urn thing are both the Crimson Witness version as well. I want to say like the back
Yeah.
pate's like $300. The mask is probably about the same. That he's iced out right now on this Dazzle. So I'm expecting big things based on his jewelry, if you will.
Yeah, looking sick. Meanwhile, I'm rocking some uncommon set on Dazzle.
Yeah,
And it's
well,
one of my
how
most
often are you
played
playing
heroes,
Dazzle?
feels bad. I play it a lot, sadly.
Yeah, I deck out the heroes I play a lot. I take pride in my Coddle. He looks like he's from like post-quarantine. He's got like the eye patch and everything. It's pretty hype. But I am more eager to see the lanes fizzle out here. The Brew Puck pairing to deal with the typical Gyro Grimstroke kind of setup, and especially now Fear kind of taking it to Kezu here. Ember going to do the full creep pull. So this is Moo's time to really try to rake in as much CS as possible with this first wave before he starts getting denied some CS.
Kezu did a decent job there as well with Shadow Wave. He was pushing in like that. And now he can go back and farm together with Ember.
Oh, I'm lagging a bit. Do you still hear me?
Yeah. Aoi is lagging as well. It's fine.
Oh, whoa,
There's-
everybody lagged. Okay, I was like,
Yep.
did the stream just drop? What happened? Time froze for a moment. Okay. A bit awkward for everybody. We'll take a moment to breathe and assess what the hell happened there. Bryle is telling us he's dead. Oh, no. Rest in peace. F's in the chat for Bryle. Wait, what? Who?
He's saying he's dead in the game,
Oh,
I guess, because
what?
he's diving or something. But
He's dead?
he's full HP. He's pretty healthy. He's not gonna die.
Yeah,
He's
wait.
fine.
On his server side, I guess it says he's dead. I don't know what that means. Hopefully he can reconnect and see. I mean, he's right under the tower, so I don't know if he was stuck in an awkward position just attack clicking
Maybe
9.
maybe he thought someone is rotating or he DC'd as he's diving. He's fine.
Yeah, that was all right. Well, interesting, awkward, but we get back into it here. That mid lane panning out. No surprise, 9 is kind of mustering ahead. A trophy aura. it's got to make it all the easier to even score these last hits and harassing hits. He's at 7-3 CS to 3-1 in Bryle.
He has plus 32 damage. Like, if you, what can you do as Brawl? You can stay back and breathe fire, and that's pretty much it. Think about your life.
KheZu getting chased around by Fear. You know, it's not until he gets this level and I guess has Moon Meander by his side to really offer any offensive. But for the meantime, Wraith King will get his own bit of farm. Moon Meander also getting a little bit of solo XP here. He should get his level 2, I imagine, with this wave.
Yeah, it's very interesting. Like, KheZu is completely letting Ember get levels there. He's not going back. He's not trying to last it under the tier 1 and tier 2. He's just letting him do his own thing. Bottom lane.
Oh, not hard damage. Inkswell. Brax able to sidestep into the trees. No chase there from Owie, as Skeeter is also under pressure from Moose. And that puck.
That attempt is great, but he has 2 Rings of Region, Tango, and Headrest on puck. So if you're not killing him, it's a bad move because you're wasting all your resources. And he's going to come back even stronger in 30 seconds. And you now don't have mana on Grimstroke, so he has to either go back or think about pulling.
Yeah.
He can't really contribute to the lane anymore.
Yeah, that's a good point. They are miscalculating, unfortunately, on their attempt, and it means that Brax is all defended off. But it looks like Crazy are not really happy with the server connection that they have, and they are going to be using a little bit of their pause time to go with a full disconnect and reconnect. And that's fine, because you know what? I don't get to talk enough about the tournament itself, and I need to kind of address on what is in store for the rest of today here. So thank you again, everybody, for tuning in to the Beyond the Summit Pro Series, sponsored by Monster. Let's take a quick look at the schedule right now. It is game number 3 of Crazy versus Business Associates. After this series is over, we'll be hopping right into our next best of 3. Quincy Crew, formerly known as Chaos, going against Cloud9. Cloud9, as we know, trying to secure their first series win. Quincy Crew just made their debut yesterday and looked really strong and are currently 1-0. Let's go ahead and look at the overall group standings. No surprise, we see top-seeded Evil Geniuses at the top. Even though they have their stand-ins, they're still looking pretty strong. 3-0. Then Thunder Predator. Crazy have now scored another win. Did I update this? Oh, no, wait. They're playing right now. Duh. Oh, my bad. Looking to go for 3-0.
They still have one game remaining.
I know. My bad. Looking for that 3-0. But we'll see if they can get it here. We are back into action here. I will hit the in-game button. Oh, my God. That's the right button. Sorry.
Guys, this is all pre-recorded. Dakota is just casting over a game that already happened. He knows what's up. He knows who's going to win.
Bettors in jeopardy right now. They're just freaking out. All right. Well, sorry about that. We're back in. Hopefully the server issues for Crazy have been resolved a bit, and now we're seeing Moon Meander get into the lane and help get his, get his hands a bit dirty. Take it to Fear and allow Dazzle to get that little bit of a space. And this is where we'll see the real potency of the lane. This is what they drafted themselves into. We'll see if it works out.
They have 2 levels of Poison Touch right now, so they should be able to pressure Fear if he steps a little bit out of his comfort zone.
The nice thing for Business Associates, though, is the creep wave is really forward. They have the safety of the tower nearby. They're still thinking about committing a bit, but now turn around, stun on the Moon. And they're just flirting with each other, starting to flex a bit, those levels.
Yeah, this is a problem for them because you have level 2 Poison Touch, but to use it properly you need to be far away from the tower. But you're never really far away from the tower because you're pushing in with Shadow Wave constantly. So they need Moon Meander to perhaps side pull, but side pull has been blocked. I don't know about this Observer Ward that they used. Bottom lane?
Oh, they blocked it themselves. Bottom lane, not able to get the connection of the Homing Missile Inkswell combo. And they're able to step off. I didn't even give recognition to that combo in itself. That's a pretty nice little pairing. Uh-oh, Skeeter. Maybe not anticipating that they were going to jump back onto them. And they're successful. That's our first blood at just about 5 minutes into the game. It's Moose picking it up. But Snipe, Owie, nice stroke right there. Gets the return kill, but obviously Business Associates going to be happier.
Yeah, they take down the Gyro. Now Puck can also TP back in, bring the items to Brewmaster. He's also going to pick up both of the bounty runes, it seems like. Yeah, definitely a better trade for business associates right now.
Yeah, bounty time. Crazy look to pick up a couple. They might get 3. Are we going deep for this one?
Bounty.
We'll pick it up
Okay.
and then head back to the lane.
Look at that mid lane, by the way. 32 CS, 33 on Underlord, 18 on DK.
Yeah.
Not looking that great. A level behind, a full level behind.
But, you know, then you have a mid lane Underlord. What does that look like later on? I have seen games where Underlords get what they want. I mean, even the first game of this series, we got to see an Underlord who had a really, really good laning phase and became a big utility core. I mean, are we going to see anything different from that potentially? Is just 9 going to be a utility core earlier than normal?
Yeah, I think that's gonna happen. There's an option to go for something like a Radiance as well, but I don't think he's going for that. You can see he queued up Guardian Greaves already, some pipe afterwards, Vlad, something like that is most likely what's going to happen.
It certainly feels like they're putting the pieces together that they could push at a really good time. You know, if the Greaves comes together. Okay, Moo up in arms with Moon Meander here. Oh, Moon Meander, though, does not like how hard he hits. And did not like that stun. But it's letting him know that, I'm keeping tabs on you. But here we go. Pincer move. Ganking, roaming mid lane. Underlord.
Radiant's courier has been killed.
Moo does take out his courier. His courier was left behind, I guess, following him.
Dire's middle
But
tower is
ultimately,
under
9 does chase down Moon Meander and finish him off.
And he gets that +3 damage. Permanent scaling.
Oh, yeah.
There we go.
He could be a real problem. I mean, if he gets to that damage talent even sooner, let's say, these towers will be wincing at his right click. If he just keeps like scaling up through this game somehow.
He definitely can as a core. It does happen that the Underlord just becomes too difficult to deal with. He has way too much damage. And also remember that because of this Underlord being this fat, this Dragon form won't be really that effective. It came late, first and foremost, and then as well, you're always gonna have this Underlord 9 just showing up in front of the tower and he's gonna be like, come at me.
Radiant's
He
middle
won't really
tower is
care.
under attack.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the answer is going to be for the Underlord. Very tricky. But Moon moving around means that Kezu had kind of a free bit of XP to farm up. He's getting real close to that level 6 on the Dazzle. He got the level 6. It's time to go. They rush in, looking to go for Fear. Moon cuts off the passage to the trees. Fear, those very tanky. But Ice Frog took away that 1 armor. And they're going to get him.
That's it. The 1 armor.
The 1
That's
armor.
it.
Damn you, Frog.
Is under attack.
No, obviously didn't really have any sort of chance, but that top lane for Crazy does finally get its first kill.
And it's going to be a very fast push as well, because of the wave Dazzle works. You have the Shadow Wave to constantly heal the creep wave, and the tower on the tier 1 on the top lane should fall very fast if they don't defend it
Oh,
with more
baby.
heroes.
Big Bad Nine's coming. Oh, he's pinging the bomb lane. I like to watch where this big guy goes, because he brings the party with him. He's got 2 bracers, nearly 1,500 HP. What are you going to
He's going
do?
for Atos,
He's a
actually.
siege engine right now. It's crazy. Here he comes. He's like, we got bottom tier 1. This is ours now. Oh, Fear slipping in from behind. Good little stun onto Owie, but they have a bigger, juicier target onto Skeeter. They surround him in the trees. 9 already looking for the next target here, but they haven't finished off Skeeter yet. They lost Moose, and now it got a big awkward. Okay, 9, I got to go. 9 looking to bail out,
Under attack.
and uh-oh, he could end up losing his life. He goes down.
And his tower on mid lane, by the way.
Oh, DK takes the tower too.
Dire's middle
Uh-oh,
tower
that
has
is not
fallen.
good. That was not probably the game plan for this mid lane Underlord. That Underlord gank.
You know what I really like? I like to watch how morale of a player shifts and what he does with his item build accordingly, right? So before this death and the tier 1 falling, he had an Atos, a very aggressive item build
Yeah.
for an Underlord, right? You go for an Atos, you have Pit of Malice. With that Atos, you have a lot of catch potential and you can fight. You can hit them. But the moment he dies there on the bottom, he's like, alright, let's go back to a hood. Let's just buy a pipe. Let's just
Dire's
not
top
die
tower
anymore.
is under attack.
And they'll have a lot of ways to have good damage mitigation and support. And, Brax on this Brewmaster might bring a bit of utility in his own right and craziness, but I know, again, I might fear the damage and where it's going to be coming from, and suddenly it's all on this Wraith King to pull it out, and here he is
You're
bottom
very
lane.
right.
What is he
You're
going to
very
be able to
right,
do?
because if you click on the Brewmaster, he's also doing the same thing. He's also buying a hood.
What?
So they might have two pipes. They
No.
might have one pipe and one hood as well. But and if you think about Crazy, they have a lot of physical damage as well. Shadow Wave from Dazzle,
Radiant's
Poison
bottom
Touch as
tower
well.
is
All
under
his
attack.
skill set pretty much is physical. It's not magical. Gyro is mixed, obviously, but yeah.
And Skeeter is now getting some free
Radiant's
farm
bottom
through this
tower
top
is
lane. Had a
falling.
pretty good big stack. As you see, many neutral items begin to fly out. I'll switch over to the net worth now. And 9 still holding that top net worth spot. I'm sure that fall bottom lane doesn't help the case. But after that, is the problem. We see DK and Dazzle both scoring some good farm through that laning phase, and now they're looking to put it to work. A smoke out from Crazy here. Potentially a move on the mid lane. They spotted out Brax. Brax has that split if needed. The stun, though. Silence. I don't think they have enough damage. He's going to get the split off if he wants to use it, but is not able to get it off, whether he doesn't get it off or doesn't feel like it's necessary. He didn't have teammates close by. It's just a gank regardless.
Maybe if he killed that first Phantom Embrace, but he was stunned, he was controlled way too long. So he wasn't able to kill it. And because of that, he couldn't even really ulti. Even if he tried to, the next Phantom Embrace would connect.
Oh, there's that little Necro book spotting out Fear, chasing him down. It's Crazy just taking back their whole jungle here. Business Associates has some good wards though in this bottom lane. I don't think they're going to be dewarding those anytime soon. Pretty unique positions just across the lane.
Yeah, very deep. The only question is, will you be playing there? And how much info is that ward giving you? Like that one behind the tier 1, that one across the lane, and the other one as well. Like they're showing you one area of the map, and they're not really even doing a really great job at that. They won't be dewarded though, that's something.
Yeah, they'll hold that vision for a while, but like you said, I'm curious what Business Associates want to do with it. Whether Crazy don't show themselves there, it feels rather useless, and if not, they need to kind of use the advantage of having their own vision and farm through that side, I suppose. But, good heads up from Bryle and all of that mix before, that once things were kicking off in the bottom lane, he had that dragon form to just go to work and push through mid. And now look, he has an arcane rune, and dragon form's going to be up in 10 seconds time. This is the dream for your DK.
The smoke pops.
Okay.
One Meander revealed.
Moves in, not committing the slight chains just yet. Now decides that they want to get the grab onto Fear. A coil going to be committed from Moose. And can Fear run out from the leash distance? No, he can't make it away from Moon. Moon's going to be able to chase him down and finishes that one off. And they just segue this right into the tier 1. But here comes 9. Big bad Underlord here. He's got the hood. Look out for him.
This is pretty much where Crazy is the strongest, and this is the way Business Associates have to respond every single time. They need to TP this Underlord to defend the tower, and that's it. I'm actually surprised they made that aggressive move around the tier 1 earlier, which backfired so heavily. They lost the Underlord and the tier 1, because it's so unnecessary for them. All they have to do is wait for the Radiance on Wraith King, and after that they can fight. Wraith King is one of those heroes that comes online really fast with that Radiance. It's like 15 minutes, 16 minutes in, he should have it already.
Yeah, I was just checking him out. It looks like he has a good amount of money banked up to start putting together that Radiance. And ideally, they would be waiting for that timing to go on the offensive. Because, like we mentioned before, a lot of the damage really, and scaling, certainly riding on that Wraith King's shoulders. We see what Crazy want to do as a response. Do they want to match that scaling factor in hopes that their Gyrocopter can just bang it out against the Wraith King? Or do they want to keep this pace and keep pressure forward? I mean, their lineup as a whole is certainly profiting a lot more. Their 3 cores, if you will, DK, Dazzle, and Gyro, are all getting some pretty solid farm. While on the other side, Brax's Brew is kind of trailing behind a bit, and he has an identity that's already pretty similar to the Underlord. I fear that they're not going to have nearly as much potency in these fights.
No, you're right. it's very questionable when you have these two position trees, Underlord mid and then Brewmaster on the offlane. It can work in some lineups, but it can backfire as well quite easily. Top lane,
Yeah.
Aoi.
Chase out for Aoi. They're even going to commit the coil for it. Oh, here comes Moon. Oh, it goes right into a silence, though, and that could be trouble. Brax is going to throw them right up in the air and hope to take them down as a secondary tree, but then Kezu shows up, and that is where Business Associates decide to backpedal. Skeeter also getting into the mix. Kezu able to finish off Moose, but nice long cyclone there from Brax will slow down the pacing of Skeeter and Kezu.
They trade what? They trade position 4 for position 5, and also Panda's ulti as committed. And
Yeah.
now you're in a good position as well if you're crazy to continue pushing. This is literally their timing. They have, I believe, a mech now almost completed on. Yeah, mech is flying out to Dazzle. So they have the mech, they have the Necros. They're ready to fight. Every time that Dragon form is off cooldown, they're ready to fight. And they are stronger at the moment too.
I would certainly agree.
Radiance.
If they can get that Dragon form off cooldown, there is a 30-second kind of window they could still take a fight before the Brew split does come up. And Radiance, yeah, is just moments away. This is going to be a big moment for both sides, and the outcome of the next team fight could really say what the story will be for this game.
Yep. The thing about that Radiance is, usually it does really impact the game quite a lot. But in this kind of a game, you already have so much sustain from Kezu. You have the Shadow Wave spam, and you also have the mech. So as long as he doesn't fall first, as long as he isn't taken down first, I think the Radiance shouldn't really have like a big impact, and they'll have to perhaps wait for an additional item on Wraith King.
Yeah, Wraith King does have, Bloodlust support. Oh, he didn't actually max Bloodlust. 4-1-1 build on Fear's Ogre this time. I feel like I've seen him definitely do a different build in some of the other games where he put more favor into Bloodlust early, but
Smoke, mid lane.
they're wrapping
Oh.
up all the way through the jungle. They pinged out the top lane Underlord. Let's see if they want to commit for it. Nine's positioning. He knows something is going on. Something ain't right.
Are scanning.
And he's right. Crazy do show themselves, but Moon has been the one to try to set up a lot of these ganks. Finds himself caught in the root. Can't quite make it away. Finally able to make it out, but gets himself caught in yet another root. It's the coil. And that will be the end of the Ember Spirit. Crazy totally disengaged. I guess we'll accept the fact that it's going to just be an Ember trade for the coil.
Well, there's a Shadow Blade on Dragonite again, and perhaps because of that they want to fight again. The stun.
Ooh, call down, stun, catch on the puck, and they quickly blow her up. And here we go. Aoi gets a nice ult, but how much damage can they ramp into it? Look at this. Wraith King just chunking his way, going right to Skeeter. Gets bailed out from the grave. But a lot of that set up, of course, from that Underlord. He's going to be able to get the finish. Moon's return. He comes back in with the benefit of that outpost, but finds himself caught between the big bad bruising trio, and they just try to muscle him down. He's able to make it to the low ground, while the DK on the back lines is finally getting addressed. He can't quite muscle out enough damage. The mitigation from this Underlord, they can't do the damage, but Kezu finally steps in, and he starts cleaning up the rest. Oh, man,
Yeah.
double kill for Kezu.
Kezu and Aoi. What they did in that fight is ridiculous. Aoi was literally just standing on the low ground, spamming one stroke of fate after another. I think he most likely dealt the most damage for Crazy there, together with Kezu, who was on the sidelines too, just constantly spamming Shadow Wave, Poison Touch, Shadow Wave, Poison Touch, until they
Yeah.
had so little armor that they were falling with just a few attacks, even though they're tanky.
Aoi's damage was comparable to what the DK was able to do. Gyros was not really there at all because he was just getting aggressed on the whole time. But that just goes to show, like, Aoi was able to spam and spam and spam. And, you know, they're almost looking at the Dazzle Grimstroke like, oh, yeah, those are just a little cute supports on the side. We'll deal with them later. We got DK here we want to handle. But, oh, my God, they were able to dish out so much. It looked really, really tough for Crazy there, just by how much mitigation that Business Associates are able to do. You're factoring like little bits of mischance. You got a pipe now on Brewmaster, the Atrophy Aura. It did not seem like Gyro or DK were going to even be able to do a whole lot of DPS.
Dire are are scanning.
Moon Meander there as well managed to come back into the fight after dying in the first place. Managed to come back in, bait them into attacking him, then he remnants to the low ground as well. And it's not an easy game for Ember right now because there's multiple silences, multiple roots. He still did well. After feeding first though, but he did well.
Well, courtesy of having the outpost, right? I mean, that is such a nice tool to have. I mean, I imagine why they wanted to make a stand around the outpost. It's like, let's take a fight. If it starts bad and we have buybacks, you know, buyback, TP in, and we can potentially turn things around.
They go into the pit. It looks like they will try to go for rush.
There's a haste rune bottom. 9 spots it. 9 going to go cross country and scout out the Roche pit here after he takes out mid lane. And even if he
They're so far.
does, you know, will they do anything about it? Doesn't look like they can. Roche is dying so fast. They're on the way. They're going to be too late, though. Oh, it's close, actually. But they got it. Now, already at the doorstep of Roche. They want to commit in Brax. He goes with the split. They want to fight. They're looking to target Owie first. Skeeter's hiding in the pit. Now commits the call down. He says, oh, they see me. I guess I got to fight. And they just surround him, and they're beating down this gyrocopter. Kezu's waiting, though. Kezu's waiting. He still has the grave. And he commits it. They're holding it. He keeps fighting forward. Fear's the first to fall, and they're going to go ahead and bring down 9 next. The Aegis finally does crack. Oh my god, 9 still living. They finally snipe him down. Moon able to grab that one. Here's the return of the king, and he will fall and take yet another knee. It's Moon Meander somehow scoring the triple kill in this one.
I love how Skitter turned his head towards the wall. If I don't see them, they won't see me, you know?
Is under attack.
Maybe they figured we got it and ran already.
He was clicking on everyone. Does anyone have a 4 staff perhaps? Help me, get me out. But it was such a good position because they go on a gyro while Dazzle is on this other side of the pit. And even though one of the heroes was trying to shut down Kezu, it wasn't enough. You need multiple. You need Cyclone, you need stuns, you need everything to silence him, to prevent him from healing the gyro. He wasn't really, if you remember when gyro was dropping super low, it's not like Kezu was saving his grave, he was just stunned. He needed to wait.
Moon snipes another kill bottom on Moose. And yeah, Business Associates think about swinging it out here. But Skeeter is able to get the finish onto Brax. And now a BKB is done on the DK. And it is being flown out. So Crazy just hitting big strides at this point. You know, Wraith King, credit to him. Still holding his own at top of net worth here. But, you know, I don't think he's strong enough to put the team up on his back for this one. It's definitely going to be a tough mountain to climb.
It's not in my nature, but
BKB is going to be completed on gyro as well very soon. 300. And after that, it becomes increasingly difficult. That Radiance won't matter as much. All of your magic damage spells won't matter. He will be able to run through that bit of Malice and Aethos. Yeah, it's getting hairier for Business Associates.
I would agree. We have, I saw Kezu finishing out a pipe. I mean, I don't even know when he gets completed that, but the pipe in mech now, so much extra defense now to pull out. Yeah, it's like they don't even have your typical, you know, off-lane, frontline tank. I mean, I guess that would mostly be the DK in this one, but we saw in that last Roche fight, it is not easy to bring down these cores. The support staff being nearby offers so much to kind of keep them alive.
Yeah, we talked about Kezu and his expensive set. He justified it, at least in this game. I don't know if he justified the $300 item, but still though. Greaves, Pipe, and the Necro 1, he's pretty stacked.
Oh yeah, for sure. And look at this, they're feeling good. Oh, Moo! He grabs the DD rune. Is that going to be enough to force Crazy to step off? Looks like neither one are going to take the fight. Bryal does catch out Little Fear's courier. But it does look like Business Associates are on full retreat. They'll head back to their base. The others will take to the top lane to farm and pressure that out. But Crazy are coming in. It looks like they're coming in for the kill here through the bottom lane. You know, they leave Ember behind to dance around with 9 a bit. And while he has 9, they're going to make a move into the base. Nine can always, I guess, use his ulti to TP back if necessary here, but their base is in a bit of trouble.
Yeah, he should go back as soon as possible. He needs to. Well, it looks like they will repel them without Underlord even coming back. Yeah, because Dragon Form was running out, right? They used that Dragon Form to try and catch a kill on the mid lane around that double damage rune, and because of that they couldn't really continue pushing. They go back, they reset, they take the new items, and they wait for the Dragon Form to come off cooldown.
Yeah, I think Crazy are totally fine playing with the clock. I mean, what's the worst case? They head to a new Roche. I don't know if it's the third Roche by them, but if they get like Agnum's Blessing, they can always scale the DK harder by getting him to that Black Dragon. Top lane, Nine, who had been hanging around this whole time, finally meets his maker as Crazy rotate over and take care of the Giant Underlord. Is that enough? It looks like there's going to draw out a line to spearhead down this mid lane and force a buyback out if possible.
That's a coil also wasted now. That's definitely an attempt from them. It's coming. They will try to push either bottom lane or mid lane to try and force that buyback. I don't know if they can. They can. They have 30 seconds. They can force the buyback even.
I like how Moon Meander uses the line, prepare for a lesson. Let's see if Crazy are going to be using this push to try to secure the series 2-1 in their favor. Skeeter leads out the charge. And Bryle's got that Dragon Form at the ready. Way out and beyond, Moose is trying to split out one lane while Wraith King takes the top. Looks like they've accepted that they will sacrifice their first rack set. We'll see what Crazy's intentions are. Are they going to try to follow through with the secondary or just use this solo window of time while the Underlord was out?
Now, when you have half of your Dragon Form up, you go for another tower for sure.
All right. And as you say, they do. Pipe also going to be popped, so not too much harassment from the Underlord and his spam. And they lose their tier 3. This is a lot of money for Crazy. These Raxes and tier 3s really add up.
They go back, they have pretty much every hero on the side of Crazy has an additional item right now. Almost the Solar Crest completed on Grimstroke. There's I believe a Halberd on Dragon Knight, Butterfly almost completed on Gyrocopter, so they don't really have to rush it. They can just complete their sets and go back in.
And if Gyro gets his Butterfly, like who's going to be dealing with that? I don't see an MKB coming together anytime soon for this Wraith King.
Because he broke their smoke. Yeah. They tried to smoke out of the base, they saw Kazu first. Nine, however, didn't have vision to use Atos, so he tried to catch him with a Pit of Malice first instead. Missed, and now they have to be on the retreat again. It's unfortunate because these kind of situations perhaps would allow them to, break free and reset the game, perhaps bring things a little bit more closer into their favor, but when that fails, it's just a bad position to be in.
Rune of invisibility.
Yep, they are just going to have to work as a four-man group, allow Wraith King to just continue to farm up for the inevitable push, and hope that they can, as I always say, hold the line, and Crazy will be just kind of put off. But I don't know, man. Just feel like even the skating capability is Moon. It doesn't matter what hero he plays. He'll keep sniping them couriers. He takes down Nine's craggy coat. Oh, look at this now. Jump in from Bryle. Looking to target a Brax. Brax able to get off the split. Coil set up on backlines here. Locks in Gyro, locks in Dazzle. If they're going to focus the Dazzle if possible, he gets the Greaves off, but eats so much damage. Could be going down. Managed to get off the pipe, managed to get off the Grave. Barely living. Still has the Glimmer, uses that, and he's going to be fine. And Crazy now look to clean out house. Now that Business Associates have committed everything they have, they got to split out and run. Fear on the retreat on one side, but oh, Crazy. Make it out big. I thought it was going to be rough there for him, but man, they withstand.
Yeah, meanwhile, Mu just cosplaying Naga has that Manta and Radiance sending Lucians, so lanes trying to creep skip, but they have a creep wave, they don't care. He needs to go back, he needs to defend, but he can't really do it. This game is over.
They're going for the Megas now. And now they're going for the Megas. His Majesty, the kingdom is crumbling, His Majesty. He doesn't care. Like, deal with it yourselves, peasants. Deal with it
You dirty
yourselves.
peasants, I'm gonna farm.
I'm finding a new kingdom. That kingdom sucked. All right, here we go. Certainly TPing now. He says, all right, that's it. If my kingdom's going down, I'm going down with it. He runs in. He stuns up Owie first. Then he gets locked in his spot. And he loses his first life.
That's it.
And he's got round number 2. Let's see what he can do. Rushes in. Pops the illusion. Gets rooted. Gets spirit vesseled. And he's dead. Does have a buyback, though. Will
Nice.
the kick, and they won't
Nice
even bother
ulti.
using it. Oh, my God.
Yeah, nice Underlord ulti there from one side of the map to 5 meters away.
Oh, man.
Bad. Yeah, but this was a beatdown. Crazy had a really good draft and they had a really decent idea behind it. Wraith King was literally forced to abandon the lane the moment Dazzle was level, 3, 4? That level 2 Poison Touch, Wraith King is out. They had 2 melee heroes versus Ember plus Dazzle, constant Poison Touch, reapplyment plus the Shadow Wave. He didn't have a game, he got the Radiance not too late, but I think what hurt them the most was when Underlord moved from the mid lane towards that bottom tier 1 to try and take it. Because they lost tier 1 on the mid lane, they accelerated Dragon Knight's item progression, and they also didn't get that tier 1 on the bottom lane, and Underlord died.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
a few early mistakes from them.
yeah, and a lot of this series really felt like the drafting. It really felt like the lanes, and what they were going to be able to do with that kind of momentum. Still, a lot of these teams figuring out their drafting identities. What their players are going to be able to do, and I imagine Business Associates going to be walking away from the series, learning a lot and looking to apply it for their future matches. But congratulations to Crazy. Crazy, on the other hand, man, they're looking really good. I believe this is now their 3rd series win. They're now 3-0, and I don't think they have really been tested yet, not as far as they haven't faced EG. But there's a lot of promise there, and when they get their hands on the right lineup, they can do a lot of work.
Definitely does look that way, yeah.
Okay, well, I'm going to pop up the schedule real quick, and as you guys can see, we have one more series to come. It's an exciting one. We got Quincy Crew, formerly known as Chaos. They're going to be going against Cloud9 and Envy, so don't go too far, gang. When we return, more Beyond the Summit Pro Series action, sponsored by Monster, coming your way.